Welcome to the SafeWheel live stream where I share my real P&L on 3 accounts and teach my proprietary SafeWheel options trade for free. The system is currently down 2.9% year to date, with the S&P up 7.3%. Okay, make sure that you type in the chat that you can hear me okay. I want to make sure that everything's going smooth with the live stream. Also, post any questions you might have. I want to make sure I get to all your questions before the end of the broadcast. Okay, so let me look at the comments here. Sounds good. Some guy, thank you. All right, so I know you can hear me. I can hear you fine. Good. Thanks, Dawes. Let's get into the earnings edge. Covenant, audio is good. Thank you. We're looking at the earnings edge here. We can see all of the trades that I've made this year so far. So we are down on the year, but overall, since I changed my criteria, it was back in November, I believe it was. My record is 7 wins and 7 losses, with my average loss only $402 and average win $885. The last trade I made was MU here, made 343. Now that was not last week. Last week there was no trade to be made. None of the stocks fit through the filters. So there wasn't anything to do with the earnings edge. Sometimes there's no stocks coming into earnings, or I mean, there's always stocks coming into earnings, but there's no stocks coming into earnings that actually fit through the criteria, fit through the 6 filters. And that's what happened last week. So there was no trade last week. Okay, so there's the earnings edge. Let's talk about the Premier Level 5. That's this account here. Oh, let me get back to the earnings edge. You can see my account, $6,561. Started this account with $5,000 in January 2022. This particular account in 2022 did 63% minus fees. And so far in 2023, we're down 19%. This is a very volatile system as far as the P&L. So, but you want to take some risk. This is the system. I like it. It has an edge. And there's a link in the description for this system here. Okay, let's get to the Premier Level 5. Okay. So you can see here we trade the ES options on the ES. Now in 2022, the PL5 Premier Level 5 did 15%, with the largest drawdown around 4%, while the S&P was down 20%. So far in 2023, the Premier Level 5 is up 4.8%, with the S&P up 7.3%. So you can see we're underperforming a little bit. That's okay, because when we start getting into the sideways markets, that's when this system outperforms and outshines the S&P. If the S&P just goes straight up, yeah, I mean, the system's going to not follow it all the way up. But it won't go up as fast as the S&P, but it does actually go up in bull markets. But then when you get to the sideways, the grind down, or the crash, this thing vastly outperforms. So overall, it ends up outperforming as it did in 2022. Now, currently, the Premier Level 5, I've been trading it, April 8th, which in about 5 days from now will be a 1-year mark for this system. It's up approximately 18% since then for the 1-year mark. And the record is 17 wins, 2 losses, and 5 break-even trades. Right now we have 3 open trades with this system. We usually trade this system about once every 10 days on average. So there's not a lot to do, which is good, which is nice. You can actually live your life. You can actually trade, be a trader, and have a life at the same time, not being in front of the screen, 6 or 8 hours a day. Okay, so let's get into now the SafeWheel. Safe whale, we're trading Uber. All right, now with Uber, last week coming in, I was long 200 shares. I got long about 34, 31 and a half. Let's take a look at that. I don't even really look at this count just once a week. So let me take a look at the trades that took place. Trade history. And let's go back 30 days. Okay, so I sold a 31.50 last week. The 31.50 call. So I had a covered call. So I was owned 200 shares at the time. So last week at this time I owned 200 shares. I sold a 31.50, and those shares got taken away. So Uber rose up above my covered call, and I got taken away out of those shares. So I actually profited on that because I sold premium at the 31.50 mark. And of course, I got my put hedge. Let's take a look at that. My put hedge is good. It's 165 days. If it was 100 days or under, I would be looking to get out. But this put hedge is looking good. It's solid. I own 100 shares right now. And my trade price wasn't 31.50. That's where I got a little confused. So my trade price was, well, last week also I sold a 29.50 put, and that expired worthless. That's what that looks like. Let's see. What's the date today? 27. Nope, my bad. So I sold the 31.50 call and got a sign, it looks like. And I'm still holding, let's see, a put that I sold at 34. Okay, so there it is. So I don't know why it says 31.50 on there. I actually sold that put at $34, and that's where things got confusing. So this particular put that I own right now, the cost basis was $34, even though it says 31.50. Okay, so the trade price was not 31.50, it was $34. So that's last week at 31.50, I got called away from my positions because I doubled down. I had 200, and that's the most I'll do. I will not do more than two tranches, and this hedge right here will cover me. So last week, 100 shares got called away. Now I have this, and my cost basis is $34. So I need to take a look at writing another covered call at $34 or higher. Okay, so let's take a look at that. I am going to only trade within the nearest cycle, okay? Because this is where the premium expires at the end of the week. And I want to sell a call at $34, and I want to get at least around 34 cents. And I can't do that. As you can see, there's not enough premium. So this is kind of the problem with the traditional wheel. At this point, you just do nothing. You just sit and your capital is not working for you. But because this system is designed to go through two cycles or two tranches, I'm going to go ahead and sell another put. And I want to get at least, like, say if I was going to sell this 31 put, I would get 31 cents. So I can't get anything here. So I'm going to sell the 31.50. This is the same one I sold and then got assigned 2 weeks ago. I'm going to sell this one again. So I'm just continuing to collect premium. And I'm just going to do one premium. It looks like Will says the premium's a little bit low today. Yeah, it is lower than what it was before. Probably compared to the last few weeks. Yeah, because of the VIX. The volatility's kind of dropped a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sell this one here. Just one. Okay, so that's sold. And as far as sizing, there's a lot of systems out there where you don't know any sizing, you don't see sizing. This system is sized. Everything is done to a T. There's a rule for everything. There might be a little bit of subjectivity, but really it's like 99% hard rules, and that's what makes the system duplicatable. And if you're interested in this system, you can get it for 89 bucks. That comes with the 6 filters that I use, and also the flow chart to know exactly what to do and when. And there's a link in the description for that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and buy a long call. And this is the time where I think it was Will last week said maybe I should be buying a long put here. That would make sense also, but I haven't back tested that, and that would be a good thing for someone to back test and tell me how that worked out. But this is what I back tested, so this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to buy this. What is this? A 33.50. It's going to cost me $5. This is going to protect my put hedge. Okay. So I put in a second layer here because this particular, I don't know why this is $31.50. It's $34. I guess they assigned my $34 long instead of assigning my $31.50, which is kind of weird. But anyways, so this is trade price was actually $34 right here. So sold this call. So I put on a second layer, and the reason for that is I have the buying power to do that. I designed this whole system and sized it and everything to make sure that I have the buying power to put on a second layer here in case the stock went down, but it didn't go down far enough for where my put hedges really activated very well. But it went down kind of in between where I sold, where I got assigned, and kind of where the put hedge is. And so I wanted to make sure I could put a second tranche on there. And so that's how the system works. And I made sure that I have enough buying power to do that. You can see my available funds for trading is 4,000. Even though I have even when I had 200 shares, I had, my buying power wasn't in jeopardy. And that has to do with trading stocks between $20 and $40. If I was trading a stock over $40, I might use up more buying power than what $5,000 would allow. Okay, so looks like I did everything for the safe wheel. And again, there's a link in the description if you want to get the actual rules to the system, or you can learn it for free by watching. And one thing I want to mention before I get into the questions, I do have a mastermind. I think you guys are aware of it. And the next mastermind coming up, I haven't really defined exactly what is going to be involved, but I'm pretty concrete on my idea. And in the next couple days, I'm going to put it out there that if you hit the link for my mastermind, you're going to see exactly what you'll get and exactly what everything costs and everything. Right now, it's kind of up in the air, but I have a really good idea of what I want to do. And so therefore, I'm going to define everything really well here in the next couple days and have it up on my website. Okay, also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter @CarlDom. And hit that like button for me. I'd appreciate that. That helps more people get to my channel. I think that this is one of the best or the best channel for anyone that's trading because I show my real P&L, so you're not getting anything fake. And I think that those people starting out, if they start here, they may go somewhere else because they don't like, they want the big returns. They want to make 100% every 3 months and all that kind of stuff. But at least they're aware of what I'm doing. So that way, when they go and try to make 100% and blow out their account or lose significant amount of money, then they'll come back here after they realize this is the best place to be. So help me by hitting that like button. I'd appreciate that. And that helps other people too. Okay, so let's get into the questions or comments. Will says the premium's a bit low today. Maybe the VIX. Oh, the market's going to be closed on Good Friday. Okay. So that's why there's only 3 days here. Typically, there's 4 days until these expire. So that does affect the premium because we lost a day. So that's probably more of a factor than the VIX. Yeah. Okay, Walter, just once a week. Don't you check on Mondays and Fridays? Okay, yes, I do look at it on Fridays because when I come in, I have my alarm set to look at this long call. So this right here, the long call, the 3350. I'll check this about a half an hour before the market closes on Fridays to make sure that Uber is not above 3350. And if it is above 3350, I will sell this call before the close of the market. So I do check it for about 5 seconds on Fridays. Will, when do you ask if the position's profitable? Do you ask it before sending in the second soldier? I haven't asked that for so long. I'm going to take a look at the flow chart here, and it'll tell me. So the stock's down and I'm assigned, and I cannot sell. Like today, like right now, I should have checked to see if the position was profitable overall before putting on this second tier. Yes, you're correct. I missed that, but I already know. I've been watching this here. Let's see, and I already know Uber. I'm down 160 bucks for the year. So knowing that, um, I'm not going to get out, even though it's for the year. This really mainly applies for the actual positions as when I started. So when I ended up selling that 34 put, so a couple weeks ago. So I could have went in from a couple weeks ago, examined my overall situation, seen that if whether I'm profitable or not, and possibly started everything all over again. Yes, definitely could have done that. Um, and I did not do that. But even if I do, I really am paying attention more to the year to date because we're kind of close to the beginning of the year. But that is kind of going outside the rules a little bit. So yes, you are correct. I should have looked at since I started the actual cycle when I got into that when I sold that $34 put. That was the beginning of the cycle. I should have looked at everything from there and seen if the position's overall profitable or not. But let's just say that it was. I mean, technically, I would have just sold these 100 shares and probably kept this put hedge anyways. So I figure I'll collect some more premium. But that's a good catch. Will, good catch. Okay, some guy. Any update on the Earnings Edge course? Yeah, I haven't. I'm still in limbo. The course is actually sitting there ready to go. Like all I have to do is press a button. And I'm considering it, and I think about it every couple days, and I just don't pull the trigger on it. I think I'm getting closer, though. I think I'm getting closer to pulling the trigger on that and making that available. And DOS, when backtesting this strategy in one OptionNet Explorer, are you opening and closing these trades as individual trades? For example, the longer dated puts are their own trade and the weekly positions are a different trade. Let me think about that. I believe I did do them separately. Yeah. Boy, it's been a while since I backtested. That was 2021. I don't think it's going to be a significant difference. One of the things we just talked about, the fact that is your overall position profitable? I probably did it like that. In other words, every tier, I kept all those trades together into one trade. So that way I could see if the overall tier was profitable or not, or the positions were profitable or not. So, for example, is Uber profitable since I opened up this? Let's see here. 34 put. So that would have been on the 6th. So I would have probably put this on here from the 6th and put all of these into a single trade, because I wanted to know if this whole trade that has never, I have gotten out of this trade since I opened it on the 6th, because I'm still own this $34. I'm still long at $34, 100 shares. So I'm still technically in this trade. So this has all been one trade. So I would have kept all this into one. That way I could see if this overall position is profitable or not. It's a little more difficult to do without OptionNet Explorer the way that I'm doing it now. But I believe that's the way I did it, because that's the way I remember that I was able to see if this position overall was profitable. So each tier had its own trade, and I just kept adding and taking away from that particular trade until it was completely closed out and I started over. Okay. Also, how are you replicating getting assigned on one? What triggers are you using to say it was assigned, and how do you actually buy the stock in one? So in OptionNet Explorer, let me see if I can pull that up without doing too many crazy things here. It's kind of hard to do it live. As far as, let me try to explain. When you're trading with OptionNet Explorer, you'll look at this, you'll see up here in this upper area, it'll say, you can put plus 100 shares or minus 100 shares up in this upper area right around here, as if we were looking at the screen. And so you just buy and sell shares based on this area up here. It doesn't have to do with anything in the options chain or anything like that. You'll see it up there. And don't hesitate to, come into to the comments in this video and go ahead and ask me the detail, and I'll show you then, or I'll definitely show you next week if it doesn't make sense to you, or you can email me and I'll help you out with that. It's just, if I try to open up OptionNet Explorer right now, it might take too long during the live stream. Plus, it might show a bunch of things I haven't planned to show live. So otherwise, I'd go in there and show you exactly. So how am I replicating getting assigned? So again, I'll buy the 100 shares at the price. I'd have to go in there and do it and show you, because I can't remember if OptionNet Explorer actually does the assignment for you, or whether you got to go in there and actually buy it. But if you play with it a while, you'll figure that out real quick. Let me see. Maybe I can get into it. This thing opens up on the wrong screen, of course. So you can see that one works. With this, you need to have your, when you open it, it needs to be linked to something that's live. So for example, it links to my TD Ameritrade. And so I open TD Ameritrade first, and then when OptionNet Explorer opens second, it links to the real-time data in TD Ameritrade. If you open OptionNet Explorer first and then TD Ameritrade, OptionNet Explorer won't have live data. Okay, let me go into just any old account here. You guys can't see what I'm doing. maybe something that I just recently kind of played around with. So here's OptionNet Explorer. Um, so here's your days in trade. Okay, let me, you can't buy SPX. So let's just say Apple. Okay. Model. So right here, I can go short minus 100 shares, or I can go long 100 shares. Okay. So that's how you do it. And then you commit. This is kind of weird looking because my screen's kind of bigger than normal. Then you commit to the trade and it adds it to the system there. So I hope that answered your question. I've been asked that before because it's a little bit confusing on how to add or subtract stock using that. Okay. Charles has a question about the safe wheel. Would it make sense to use a put hedge of 2 contracts instead of 3 until you add the second tranche? No, well, I'm going to say no, because by the time you're adding that second tranche, the stock has come down and you want to have already owned that third tranche. You want to have already owned those 3 long puts, because now they're there to protect you and they're getting closer to the money and they're worth a lot more. So you don't want to wait to the last second to put on your hedge. So you want to have a hedge that's really strong when the stock makes its way down. And even when you are putting on that second tranche, you want to have that strong hedge already there in place. Josh, thank you for the 1 comments. That helps. Good. I hope that looking at 1 there helped out too. Okay. I don't see any more questions. I do like to say one thing before I end the broadcast, because I'm getting ready to end the broadcast here. If the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? Okay, I'll be back next week.